Hello friends, my name is Dr. Purnima Priyadarshi and it's my short effort to help the students to know about Indian history. Yes, I know there are so many channels on YouTube which deals with the same content, but most of them are in Hindi and only few are in English. Today I will discuss about the advent of Europeans in India. So let's get started. You all know many European companies came to India, but do you know which company came first and which last? So, here is the sequence. The first European company which came to India was Portuguese, then Dutch, after that British, then Danes, and at last French. So, to remember this sequence, there is a mnemonic, and mnemonic is please drink buttermilk during fever. So you all have to take the first letter of each word to remember the sequence. Like please, P Portuguese, drink, D Dutch, buttermilk, B British, during, D Danes, and fever, F French. So this will help you to remember the sequence. Now, you all have a question in your mind that what were the reasons or what compelled the Europeans or Portuguese to come to India. So let's get into this insight. Since ancient times, India had trading relations with European nations like Greece and Rome. And when we are talking about Rome, then Rome was known as the mighty Roman Empire. And this mighty Roman Empire, by the 4th century AD, split into two, Western and Eastern Roman Empire. Western Roman Empire collapsed in 476 AD. Eastern Roman Empire, also known as Byzantine Empire, had its capital at Constantinople, saw a decline in 7th century, but it did not end completely. It began to survive till 1453 AD when it falls under the Ottoman Turks. As I said earlier, that it saw a decline. So, due to this decline, there was the loss of Red Sea. And also, one more thing happened that there was the rise of Arab intermediaries. And these Arab intermediaries effectively cut off direct maritime trade between India and Eastern Roman Empire. Therefore, direct trade with India severely got affected. Not only this, it caused a dramatic drop in the demand for luxury goods, leading to the collapse of Mediterranean based trade networks and a shift towards Arab intermediaries. Therefore, Europeans were keen to find a direct sea route to India. You all might have heard about a Renaissance in Europe. It started around late 13th century AD, and 15th century AD was the time period of Renaissance. So Europe was prevailing with this spirit, and thus there was a call for exploration. Due to Renaissance, economic development was progressing rapidly. Thus, as prosperity grew, demand for luxury goods also increased. Prince Henry of Portugal, known as Navigator, keen to find all the sea routes that connected Europe to India. But before it could happen, he died. So his dream could not be fulfilled. Discovery and voyages also started happening. Now, in 1494, Treaty of Tordesillas concluded between Portugal and Spain. Portugal got everything to the east of the line, and Spain got everything to the west of the line. So you all have a question in your mind that why this treaty happened and how it is connected with our discussion. So let me tell you, before this Treaty of Tordesillas, one more treaty happened, and that treaty was known as Treaty of Alcacovas. So first of all, we should understand the Treaty of Alcacovas, and then we will get back to the Treaty of Tordesillas. Treaty of Alcacovas was happened in 1479 and it was signed between Portugal and Spain. This treaty put an end to the War of the Castilian Succession. Castilian had victory over land while Portuguese won on sea, thus had hegemony in the Atlantic Ocean. This was the first document to define the fields reserved for the discoveries of Spain and Portugal, divided the world along the horizontal line, parallel lines. You all know Christopher Columbus. So Columbus completed four Spanish-based voyages across the Atlantic Oceans, which was sponsored by the Catholic monarchs. So when he was returning from his first voyage early in 1493, he was driven by storm and therefore he landed into the port of Lisbon, which was under the Portugal. John II, the ruler of Portugal, welcomed him warmly, but asserted under the Treaty of Alcacovas, previously signed with Spain, Columbus' discoveries lay within Portugal's sphere of influence. The king then prepared a fleet under Francisco de Almeida to claim the new islands. Anxious to avoid war, the Catholic monarchs arranged negotiations in the small Spanish town of Tordesillas, and thus it resulted in the Treaty of Tordesillas, which was happened in 1494, but active through 1497. Now, as I told you that under the Treaty of Tordesillas, Portugal get everything east of the line and India lies in the eastern part. Therefore, situation prepared for Portuguese incursions into the waters around India. And in 1497, Portuguese ships under Vasco da Gama set out for India and arrived in India in slightly less than 11 months' time in May 1498. By this, I end my session here only. I hope you all find this session useful and knowledgeable. So thank you very much. Bye.